Well, I just introduced myself, Dr. Anisabel Fukushima, the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies. I am joined by my team, who I'm going to have introduce themselves. I'm going to give some opening remarks, but before I give opening remarks, I just would like you to meet some of the folks that are very important. And we're going to start with Cindy first. So Cindy, if you can come up, and the rest of the team, you're also going to come up and introduce yourselves.
So, hello, I am Cindy Greaves. You've all received emails from us. I'm the Associate Director in the office, and I run the UROP program. I run the Travel and Small Grants program and our Capitol Hill event and a few other things. So, welcome. If you have any questions regarding UROP at any time, please reach out to anybody in the office, or you can email me directly.
And Cindy is really, if you want to be paid, you should probably respond to an email.
Hello, I'm Bradley. I'm the outreach coordinator for OUR, and you'll see me probably around campus at tablings or doing presentations in classes. So that's kind of what I do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie Leva. I'm an academic program coordinator, and I am the point of contact for the summer program for undergraduate research. Shorthand for that is SPUR.
Hi, I'm Sophia Flowers. I'm one of the undergraduate research leaders. There's a bunch of us that work for the office. So we're all fellow undergrads that have done research. And yeah, I just kind of do a lot of different things. We each have like different roles in the office, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
All right. So it's actually really wonderful seeing folks in this room. What you will learn, and can you raise your hand if this is your first semester being awarded a UROP? Look at that, rock stars. So amazing. It's actually really competitive, and increasingly it's being more competitive to get a UROP opportunity with the office. And we hope that we know that many of you who participate in undergraduate research go on to either make decisions about your career. You may decide you want to keep doing this thing because you're like, that was so cool what I worked on. We have somebody working on ski stuff, somebody working on things with archaeology. Anyways, you're all doing really wildly different things. I hope at some point today that you turn to the person next to you and you say hello, and you're like, what are you working on? And you'll find that actually you all are doing very different work, unless if you're sitting by your friends and you're like, you already know. And so maybe you'll make a new friend at some point. But what we find is that you oftentimes make career decisions because you've had this research experience, and undergraduate research is really considered a high impact practice. If you want to go on to graduate school, it is one of those things that will help you to build those skills. And throughout the semester, by participating in this program, you're going to learn and hear from Cindy about some of the opportunities, such as the education series and all of that. But if you look at and you talk with your mentors, your faculty mentors, or if you're working with a graduate mentor, is you'll find that many of them got to where they are because they did research themselves or had some experience of being mentored by a faculty at some point in their journey that got them to the point where they are at. And so I hope that as you all are doing your research, that you don't only just use it as a time to get that work done. It's going to be super cool. We'll see you at a symposia at some time, but you really talk with your mentors about the other professional goals that you might have, whether it is graduate school or it is going into the workforce, whatever that might be. And so one of the things you should also know about the office is that increasingly we've been working with campus partners. We fund thousands of students every year, as well as we support and educate over 4,300 students every year as well. And so you are part of a really lively research community, and you are a Research One institution, and this is our commitment to all of you. And so I just first of all want to say congratulations on being awarded a UROP opportunity. You are encouraged to apply for the renewal, although you are not guaranteed to get it. We just highly encourage you to reapply to get a renewal, and that you seek out some of the other opportunities we have with the office that Cindy is going to talk about. Well, one of the things I know as the Office of Undergraduate Research is that our commitment is to faculty and student collaborations with research. Some of you are working with not undergraduate, but graduate mentors. And if that's the case for you, I encourage you to really find that and access the time with your PIs on the grant and get to know them. In this room, we have both UROP scholars as well as WILC scholars, since that is one of our partnerships. And so we've got a lot of really cool folks happening, doing research across 18 colleges, across the discipline. And so you'll hear and connect with folks, whether it is today or when you present your findings at the Undergraduate Research Symposium, you'll see all of the kind of interesting research that you've all been doing throughout the semester. And Cindy's going to talk a little bit about some of those opportunities. So you've heard about our mission, as well as One of the things that we know is that we're all about supporting and fostering student success through research. Cindy's going to talk about some of the other opportunities. Angie's here to talk about summer program for undergraduate research. So really hear and learn about some of those other opportunities. One of the things I like to say about my office is that we are the office that likes to give money to students. And so we cannot give you the money if you do not apply. You've already experienced it with the UROP opportunity. So you'll learn more about some of our opportunities with funding, the education research series, which is learning beyond the classroom. You'll also hear from our team about research advising. Sophia, as well as Bradley here, provide more of that research advising, which we are not here to replace your mentors. It is just to help you think about your professional goals, as well as opportunities to be recognized. We have our annual award ceremony. If you're graduating this spring, I want to let you all know that you really should let your mentors know if you want to be recognized at the award ceremony, that they might consider nominating you for the awards. You can reach out to my office and we can connect you with your college contact if you're not sure what that looks like or who you should be submitting letters to. If you love your mentor and you want to recognize them, you're encouraged to also nominate them. But we know that research matters and it leads you to having impact, in your future. And we're just going to kind of keep moving on. And I'm going to, the real show is Cindy, who now we've had lots of time to figure out this system while I'm here. One thing you should all know is one thing I do want to say is if there are things that go awry in your research or you're experiencing challenges, whether it is with your faculty or your team, you should really lean on the office is here to support you. We really want our students to be successful in their research experiences. So see us as an advocate. If you're experiencing troubles with professors, just know that's where they bring in me, because it's kind of odd to have students being upset at their professors. And so you can always bring in me to help troubleshoot and think through how do we strategize when things go awry. But we know that many of you are going to have really positive experiences. We read those end of semester evaluations, and generally you all tend to do really good. And sometimes you may find that it's not about the team, but it's just that, you know what, you want to do something different next. So just know that you are doing a project now this semester. If you're interested in pursuing new projects in the future, students also do that as well for those that are earlier in their academics. But Cindy's going to go through some logistics and important information that you need to know as part of your hire. You are all temporary employees. You work for us, and guess what? Who is your boss? Technically, I'm your boss. And so just know, that your mentor though is the one that is your research boss. I don't get in the way of your research projects, but the office does hire you. And so you technically work for us. So please listen to Cindy, who's going to kind of go through a lot of logistics.
Thank you for all of you renewals who are returning and getting more information. There is a lot of information that's still similar and the same from the last semester or previous semester, but we do have new dates and deadlines. So it's really important that you find out when things are due for the spring semester. So as you know, UROP and Wilkes is a program or programs where you get paid to work with your faculty mentor. So for UROP, it's a $1,200 taxable stipend for up to 120 hours of research during one semester. And you can do this for 2 semesters. You can do a new semester and then you can renew. And it doesn't have to be back-to-back consecutive semesters. It can, you can take a break. You can do whatever you would like to do. Just so we know that the Wilkes scholars should refer to their award letter to get their stipend amounts. And if you're interested, future deadlines will be for the summer semester. If you want to reapply, it will be March 7th. So we're going to go over some of the student expectations. On the UROP website, there is current scholars resources where you can find all this information, deadlines, dates, and everything. So take a minute to view that and get yourself familiar with that. So some of the expectations is that you attend orientation. Congratulations, you're here. Thank you. You will have to attend 2 of our education series events. We'll talk a little bit more about those. They're online events via Zoom. You will have to complete an online final report. And this is not a written report. It's just kind of a summary, a write-up of how your semester work went, and it just lets us know how everything went. It's just an online form. It shouldn't take you very long. You will be asked to present at our undergraduate research symposium before you graduate. So you need to be able to present at least once. Has anybody already presented at one of our symposiums? Awesome. And then we ask that you obtain certifications as needed for your lab or your research. That's something that you'll have to work out with your mentors. If you need IRB approval, if you're working with human subjects, please reach out, and most likely your mentors would have already let you know what you need. And then we ask that you acknowledge the office in any kind of dissemination of your report, or of your research. We have logos and some wording and some text on our website. So if you're making a poster, or if you have an oral presentation and you're doing a PowerPoint, we can get you that information, just so you give us a little shout out and give that recognition and acknowledge. And then for all you Wilkes scholars, you are also required to present at the Wilkes Climate Summit, and that will be in May. And Kyla Welch will reach out to you about that one. That is not for the UROP students. Just a little bit of continuation. We ask that you read and respond to emails that come from the office. We try not to bombard you with emails, but emails that are coming from me are most likely I need information from you, or they're about your stipend or your money or some deadlines that are happening. So we just ask that you do reply in a timely manner. We ask that you conduct your research under the supervision of the faculty mentor that you listed in your proposal. So you were awarded based off of the proposal that you wrote, and you listed a faculty mentor. The faculty mentor wrote a reference. And so if anything happens to change, just let us know. That, I mean, if you have a grad student that you're also working with alongside the mentor, that is also fine. We ask you to reach out to our office if there are any substantial deviations to your research, to the original project. Now, this doesn't mean, maybe you tested something and it didn't go quite so well, or maybe, a machine product wasn't working for a week. What we want you to tell us about, those are some things that you might just happen to come across on a day-to-day basis. But like if, for instance, your mentor leaves the university, or maybe the project you're working on needs to get shut down, those are substantial deviations. Please let us know, because if you're not putting in the hours and you're not doing the work, we need to rearrange that so that we either stop the stipend or adjust it so you can get it when you are doing the work. So please reach out to our office and let us know. We usually, in most cases, we figure something out and we get it to work out. So again, the obtain and maintain certifications for human subject research or animal research, any kind of environmental health, IRB stuff that you need, make sure you get that. So the stipend agreement, you will be hired as an undergraduate research assistant to become a UROP or a WILT, to receive the UROP or the WILT stipend. And everyone should have already emailed Elena Sharma in HR, unless you are a renewal from fall semester. I think in your award letter, it told you didn't need to do that. So if you are already a employee on campus, you still need to send out that new hire form. This is the only way that HR can verify if you are an active employee or not. If you are not an active employee, then you'll need to fill out an I-9 form, and you'll need to make that appointment with HR. If you are a current employee, then they can most likely just use the information that's already in the system and hire you for this position here. So yeah, so definitely double check. If you already know that you have, then great. But if you aren't sure if you sent that new hire form, please send that to Elena. And her email and the link to the new hire form is in your original award letter. So UROP pays a taxable stipend of $1,200 for up to 120 hours of research. So your hiring start date is actually January 16th, and it will go till April 15th. And then you'll get equal payments distributed throughout the month. So this is really important. If you have another job on campus and you're doing the same research that you're doing for your UROP project, you cannot be getting paid twice. I've had some questions from mentors and some from students also, because they think they can get UROP payment and then they can also get the lab funding. It's actually against the law to get paid twice for the same job. So there are certain ways that you can get around that, as far as, maybe your lab is going to decrease your hours. Maybe you're going to be working on a separate project for UROP than what you are doing in the lab. If you are confused and you're not sure how you can distinguish that, please reach out to our office and we can help. If you need your mentor to call us, we can help. But just know that you can't be getting paid for the same work. So these are your pay days. We get paid the same days as everybody else on campus, the 7th and the 22nd of the month. If one of those days falls on a weekend or a holiday, you get paid the Friday before. So please note, your first payment won't be until February 7th. So don't call next pay period and say, you know, when am I going to get paid if it doesn't come out the end of this month? February 7th is the first day. So the university highly, highly, highly recommends that everybody sign up for direct deposit. If you have a check mailed to your house and it doesn't get to your address for whatever reasons, you'll be responsible for figuring out where it is or stopping payment. And there is a fee that is associated with that. So please sign up for direct deposit. You can either do it through CIS. You go through the employee section, and then there's payroll and taxes and direct deposit, and it just walks you right through that. Or also on our website, under that current scholars resources, there's also a link to direct deposit. But please note, because your first day of hire is January 16th, if you're new to direct deposit, you won't be able to get into direct deposit until January 16th, because technically you won't be an employee. If you are already an employee on campus and you have direct deposit set up, then it's fine. Your UROP payment will be joined on the same check that you get paid through your other job. Any questions about direct deposit, signing up?
Question in the chat says, can I get paid from my lab for the hours I work over the 10 hours a week for UROP?
Yes. And there is a little, if you go to sign up for direct deposit, there's some days when the university is doing their payroll processing when they don't allow you to get into that form. So if you go in right around the first of the month, the first few days of the month, and the form doesn't work, you probably have to wait till like the 4th or the 5th. So the pay periods are the 1st till the 15th, and then the 16th to the end of the month. So at the beginning of those pay periods is when payroll kind of takes down some of those forms. So just heads up, if you're trying to sign up for direct deposit and it's not working on February 1st or whatever, just know that you need to wait a couple days. This is just a link how you can get to that current scholars resource page. It's on our website, our.utah.edu/UROP. So you can go to the current scholars research. We have these little cards. And so there's a direct deposit one, and it will take you to the direct deposit link. So everybody was required to fill out the EIPAA. It's the Employee Intellectual Property Assignment Agreement. If you work for the University of Utah, you have to fill it out. You only have to fill it out once. So if you've already filled it out for a previous job, don't worry about it. This was also on your award letter. So if you haven't done it, please do so. And I think payroll may reach out to you if it doesn't get filled out. So because your payment is set up in a stipend mode, that means that you do not have to keep track of your hours on a time card. You don't have to keep track of your hours in Chronos. So there's no in or out punches. So do not put your UROP hours in your Chronos if you have a job on campus. So because you're not putting hours in Chronos or a time card, we do have a method to help you keep track of your hours to ensure that you're doing the 120 hours of work. So what we ask you to do is devise a schedule with your mentor to ensure that you're doing 120 hours of your project. And this should be in writing, signed by both of you, by you and your mentor. It's kind of a guideline, kind of gives you an idea of what you're planning to do over the course of the semester. And again, once you go back to that current scholars resources, we have a link to a UROP schedule that you can use. And you can use your own method or something like this. Question in the back. Absolutely, yeah. So in your timeline that you used in your application form, definitely use that as a starting point. You might need, I mean, that was a couple months ago, right? So now things might have changed. So you can definitely update it and add to it. Yep. And this is just a form that we have created. It might be helpful where you can, put the dates, the work you're planning on doing, and then just keeping track of the number of hours that you're working on. So that documentation, this is only going to be, you keep a copy for yourself. Your mentor can keep a copy. Our office does not need a copy of this. This is only something we will ask for or refer back to if there's any issues. So if you fail to meet this schedule, if your mentor contacts us and is like, I haven't seen this student in a while, they're not progressing, they're not putting in any hours, then we'll probably see how the schedule's going, and then we'll just contact you and figure out what needs to be done to rectify the situation. So just keep a copy of the schedule for your own records. Again, most cases we don't need a copy of it, but do let us know if there's any big changes to it or if you have any issues or questions about it. So we check in with your faculty mentor bi-weekly. We just send them an email and we just kind of make sure that everything is going well. It's just a check-in, and it's a way for them to let us know that, yes, you are still progressing on your research. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. and that you're doing the work that you're getting paid for. So if there's any challenges with these expectations, if your mentor indicates any issues with your work, you'll receive an official notice from our office along with a plan for correcting the issue and a timeline for doing so. This doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Things happen. The main thing is that, like, if you know you're going to be sick and maybe you need a surgery or something, just let us know that you're going to be away. Let your mentor know that there's going to be a delay in your research so that we can work something out. And if you fail to meet the expectations outlined in the notice, then you may be dismissed from the program and forfeit the remainder of your stipend award. So if you have concerns or issues that arise with working with your mentor, please reach out to our office. And if we need to, we can connect you to Dr. Fukushima, who can also help with this. Failure to meet the UROP or the Wilkes expectations and policies will result in a forfeiture of the stipend. So if you need to withdraw for whatever reasons, maybe you are no longer going to taking classes or whatever the situation is, just please reach out to our office or to me so that we can withdraw you. We will still pay you for the hours that you worked, but we do need to cancel any future payments that we have scheduled out. So now we want to just go over what the participant requirements are for UROP. So we talked about a little bit about the education series earlier. So the education series is learning beyond the classroom workshops. And a lot of these are topics that students like you have requested because they knew that they would be important to them. So our education series, we have topics this semester in navigating uncertainty in research, professional communications and research. We have some student panels. We have one for applying for summer programs and a lot more. We have a list of them on there, but we also have a list of ones that have been recorded and ones from past semesters. So you can go in and see if there's something of interest to you. We do have program tracks. So if you're interested in, skill building or just collaboration and communications, each one of them are under one of those program tracks. So the requirement for this program is that you attend 2 of those events before the end of the semester. So go onto our website, look at the education series, the schedule of them, see what the dates are, put them in your calendar. It's really sad at the end of the semester if you don't get them done and you want more money from our office, because if you haven't done these, we can't give you more money. So please schedule it and be sure to attend those. We do want every student to attend at least one live Zoom event. And again, they're open to anyone. So if you have people in your lab, you have friends that also want to attend these, they definitely can. And then you have to complete an evaluation form to just verify that you watched it and to confirm to verify your participation. They're all via Zoom. We work with a lot of campus partners and it's a lot easier just to do on Zoom. Question. So it's a Zoom meeting and we usually have a professional on campus coming to discuss these topics.
I mean, it literally is. So for example, what was the one example that you had earlier? So for example, creating effective abstracts and research posters, that one's actually really good. You should check that one out, especially if you're planning on doing a presentation with the undergraduate research symposium. I would highly recommend that one, which you're all required to do. So in the creating effective abstracts and research, they'll really go through details of what makes a poster effective. And these are folks who are really cool. Greg Hatch and Donna Bellucci are colleagues in the library who do the facilitation. Some of the topics might have a professor who is an expert in that particular field giving the presentation. And so it'll range in different folks, but it's literally an hour workshop where somebody is talking at you and there might be points in which you can ask questions. But it's not really super interactive. It's just an hour of your life. And so really hang out, listen to it. I encourage you to check out the sessions where it's a skill you want to develop.
Yeah. And these topics are generally topics that are very helpful to students who are doing research, and maybe they're not things that you're going to be learning from your mentor in your lab. So, and also on that evaluation form, I think there's a question that says, do you have a suggestion for any future ed series? So please, if there's something that you really want to learn about, we will find a professional on campus who will be able to teach this for us. So 2 of those, they're on our calendar and we will send out reminders. You can go to the website again to see the list of those. So everybody is going to be required to submit a final report. This is not a written long report. It is literally an online form. It'll take you 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you put a little bit more thought into it. So this is due the end of the semester. So again, this is something that I will send out a reminder for, make sure you get this done. Again, this is a really easy report to fill out, but if you don't do it, it would break my heart if you wanted money and I couldn't give you more money in the future because you didn't fill out an easy 5-minute report. So, and it's very helpful for us just to let us know how the system or how the program went. You know, give us a little bit of feedback. Do the last day of class. Okay, the undergraduate research symposium. So this is a requirement. We want all students to present at one of the symposiums before you graduate. And when I say one of the symposiums, we have a spring symposium, which is our biggest symposium. It's in person. We do it in the Union building. That we have all of the different types of presentations, posters, talks, performing arts, visual arts. And then we do one in the summer, which is just a poster session. And then the one in the fall is just a virtual one. So again, you have to present before you graduate, and you present the work to your local community, to the university community. It's not only for UROP students or Wilkes students, it's available to any undergraduate who's doing research who wants to present. So the spring symposium this year is April 2nd. The deadline to register is March 9th. And you can go on the website, our undergraduate research symposium website, and it'll give you some tips and some ideas on how you can create a poster, or if you want to do an oral presentation, give some really good ideas. So also for the Wilkes scholars, please note again that you will also have to present at your Wilkes Climate Summit in May, but presenting at the undergraduate research symposium will allow you to get the undergraduate research scholar designation, which I will talk about in a minute. So if you have any questions about your stipend, so please contact me if you're in Europe, and please contact Kyla Welch if you are in the Wilkes Center or as a Wilkes scholar. So just a few more opportunities that we want you to be aware of. So Research on Capitol Hill is an event that's one of the events that I coordinate. We are actually, this is our 25th year that we will be going to the state capitol. So because the University of Utah and Utah State are the top research universities in the state, we're the two schools who get invited to Research on Capitol Hill. Anybody here presenting this year? Awesome, we have a couple presenters. So it'll be February 20th, and these are students who are going to go to the Capitol and present their research to their legislators, present their research to the people who are making funding decisions for our university. It's open to the public. If you have any friends going, please come support the students, just kind of see what the event is like. As you can see in the in the picture, we have posters, we line them along that rotunda, and just a lot of people come through. It's a really fun event. So we open this up in October. So if you're still around and an undergraduate next fall, watch for the email, and if you're interested, apply. The summer program for undergraduate research is Angie's area, so she's going to tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah, so summer program for undergraduate research, we call it SPUR. So if you hear people referring to SPUR, this is it. And so how SPUR is different from UROP is this is a nationally competitive program. So it is open to any eligible undergraduate student in the United States. So not just U of U students apply and participate in it. As well as it is a 10-week program, and it'll run from May 19th through August 1st, and it is 35 to 40 hours a week. So that is the equivalent of a full-time job, just so you guys can keep in mind the time commitment for it. It pays a $5,000 stipend, and it does have the similar requirements that UROP does, except it's a little different. So for SPUR, you are required to attend all the education series that occur in the summer, as well as you have to present at the undergraduate research symposium at the end of the program, and you also submit to the Range Journal. It is a really cool program. It is open across all the disciplines here, across 18 colleges, and the way it is also different from UROP is with UROP, you guys were all applying. You submitted a proposal. With SPUR, it is faculty that already have the project. They have everything up and going. They are just looking for students to apply and be selected for it. Every mentor gets to select one student. And as well, the application, it is currently open right now. The deadline to apply is January 26th. I do highly recommend that if you are going to apply, this is not an application that you can do the night before because it does require you to have 2 letters of recommendation. And so if you apply the night before, I'm going to tell you right now, you probably won't be able to finish the application because you won't have the letters to submit on time. Just so you all know, the letters of recommendation are also due the same day as the application date, so January 26th. If any of you are interested in applying and you need help with any part of the application, we are going to be having an application workshop. It's going to be part of the ED series. So if you attend that workshop, it can also be check off one of your ED series requirements. It'll be next Wednesday virtually from 2 to 3:30. And like I said, if you have any questions about any part of the application, highly encourage you to attend. Does anybody have any questions of Spur? Yes. It is, yes. However, we do have Wilkes program enfolded into our summer program. So if you do Wilkes and you are selected to be in Wilkes, you will be joining the Spur students in the same programmatic events. Any other questions? Perfect. Well, if you do have any questions, like I said, my name is Angie. Feel free to call, email, schedule an appointment, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have related to Spur.
Okay, so we have some scholarships available to students who have already gone through UROP or Wilkes. We have some donors who have provided some money, and so students who would like to continue doing the research that they've already done can apply for these scholarships. We have one scholarship that is awarded in the fall, and then we have 2 other scholarships that are awarded in the spring. And usually we send out a call for applications when the time comes. So our travel and small grants program, this is a program where students, if you are traveling to do a presentation, maybe you just need to go do some field work, or maybe you just need to get some supplies that aren't available in your lab, you can apply for our small and travel grant. So it's up to $500. You can get 1 travel grant, 1 small grant, and we award these every month. So whatever applications we receive in January, we will review them the first week in February. So if your mentor or your lab or maybe your college doesn't have funding to help you get to a conference, please apply for these travel grants. They are competitive, but if awarded, it is really helpful. So the URSD, the Undergraduate Research Scholar Designation, this is a designation that appears on your transcripts. It's kind of a recognition that the university gives students who have done research. So in order to get the Undergraduate Research Scholar designation on your transcripts, you have to do 2 semesters of research. It can be with Spur, UROP, Wilkes, or it can be independent with a mentor. You have to present at one of our symposiums just 1 time. And then you need to publish in our range journal. So you apply this semester, you graduate. Now, is anybody here in person graduating this spring? Okay, so there are a couple different deadlines. We have an early deadline, and this is a deadline. It's February 10th. If you want your name printed in your college convocation graduation program, you need to apply to the URSD before February 10th. It's early because we have to give the name to the registrar's office so that they can get it ready for graduation. If you just, you don't care about that, if you just want to get it on your transcripts, then you have until the last day of the semester. And if you get the URSD, you will get a cord to wear at graduation. It kind of just sets you apart. Does anybody have any questions about the URSD?
I've been doing UROP the past 2 semesters. How do I publish in range if that's not a part of my UROP?
So I will go over that in just a minute. So the range journal is through our office, and here it is right here. So we offer an undergraduate research journal, and we have two issues every year. You can either apply by a fall date to get it in the December issue, or you can submit by June 1st. So all you have to do, if you want to do the URSD early deadline, you just have to submit something to the journal. So you can submit an abstract right now, and then in a couple weeks or even in a few weeks, if you want to update that and make it a paper, you can do that. But if you do want to apply for the URSD by that early deadline, you have to at least submit to the journal, and you have to at least register for the symposium if you haven't done those 2 requirements. But like I said, the next deadline for the range journal isn't until June 1st. So if you submit something early and you need to make some updates or some changes, we can update your submission. So the range journal is open to any undergraduate on campus who's doing research with a faculty mentor. We accept multiple entries. You can do an abstract, you can do a full paper. Maybe you're a fine arts student or a photography student and you want to submit photos, or just a 1-page submission that's just a workup of what your research was. Again, the next deadline is June 1st, and you can find that on our website under Undergraduate Research Journal.
It's an online journal. I don't think I said that. So our undergraduate research leaders, I'm going to let Sophia come up here and talk about this.
Okay, hello. I am one of the undergraduate research leaders. There's about, I think, 8 of us. Is there 8 of us? We're all current undergraduates at the U, and so we've all been in your shoes. I've done pretty much everything under the sun with the Office of Undergrad Research. I've done the symposium, I've done UROP for 2 semesters, I've done travel grants. So we do a lot of like peer advising. So if you guys need any help with that, please feel free to reach out to any of us. We're all bookable online. I do advisings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but if you can't come to those, you can always feel free to like email us. All our contact information is on there. We all specialize in different things. Like we have one that does STEM, we have one that does funding. So if you have specific questions about that, that's also a really good resource. Yeah, I do work for the office. I'm not just an undergrad that's volunteering my time. So if you guys ever need help with anything, please feel free to reach out. And then how many of you are working with humans or people in your studies? Raise your hand. Cool. Awesome. So even if you're doing that via like survey, interview, or you're doing like medical device testing, all of you will need to get what is called IRB or Institutional Review Board approval. And that's just to make sure that you're doing your work ethically because you're working with people. We want to make sure that you're treating them right, obviously. So that can be something that's already like your lab already has that done through your PI or your mentor, or that's something that you need to get done while you're working with your mentor. So I host a bi-monthly lab that helps you through that application process. For the most part, it's the second and fourth. I lied. Second and fourth Tuesday of the semester or the month, each semester. I have a Zoom and an in-person option. I have snacks in person, so if you like snacks, please come and hang out with me. But yeah, so this is just anything related to IRB. So if that's like through the application process or what to include, or you don't even know what IRB is and you want to get started.
Awesome. And we are actually looking, because Sophia is going to be graduating, we are actually looking for we're hiring for an IRB specialist. So yeah, the application form is live right now. If you're interested, please apply. We have another thing that one of our undergraduate research leaders or kind of facilitates is our Funding Fridays. And this is a workshop just for if you have any questions about any of the things we've talked about today, any of the funding opportunities. Again, our undergraduate research leaders are experts in our office and everything that we have to offer. And so our Funding Fridays are every Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. You can either get it on Zoom or you can come drop in to our office in the SIL Center, which is across the parking lot over there, room 005. Just feel free to come have any questions. I mean, you can also contact us by email or phone if ever you need to, but this is a Zoom call where if you have more questions and you want to go a little bit more in depth and you want a one-on-one, definitely drop into the Funding Fridays. So we have a prize and an award that we would like to let students know about. So the Monson Essay Prize is a $1,500 cash prize that is awarded to 2 students this semester who are doing research and who write a paper on a subject having to do with social change. It's a paper that you will write will be about 10 to 20 pages in length, and the due date to submit to that is March 1st. We also have a new research award from the Ben Contestant. This is a new donor for us. So yeah, so this is an alumni of the University of Utah. This will be a $100 award given to a student who is recognized as an undergraduate who has demonstrated their research focused on real world problems. So that too is also has a deadline of March 1st. So if you're interested in either one of those, definitely go to our website, our.utah.edu, and look up the prize and the award. Does anybody have any questions on any of the things we've talked to about? You're graduating spring K? Yes. Yeah, if you graduate this semester, you can submit to range any time before the end of the semester. If you are graduating and you want to get that undergraduate research scholar designation, you need to look at the undergraduate research scholar designation deadlines and make sure you submit to range before that. So that February 10th date would be the first date you'd want to get something submitted. Otherwise, you have till the last day of the semester. We accept everybody. The only reason we would deny your application or your submission is if your mentor didn't approve of it. Like if you didn't run it through your mentor. So once you submit, It'll get approved and then we publish it in early July.
Yeah, to get the designation, we just need to submit something, but it's not our final thing, right? And we can
Well,
edit it.
yeah, so if you want the designation and you want to get it that early deadline, you need to submit something. Yes, but you are welcome to edit it, because if you don't edit it, if you don't let us know, then that's what's going to get published. So yeah, submit maybe just your abstract and then you can submit something afterwards that's a more edited version. So these are our office hours. We're open Monday through Friday. You can reach us online, in person. You can sign up to receive our newsletter if you want to by that QR code, but please let us know if you have any questions. Please reach out. And if you haven't contacted Elena Sharma in HR, please do that as soon as possible. Thank you all for coming. Have a great semester.